Happy Monday, YouTube. Well, hopefully your Monday's off to a great start. I know my East Coast team's already kicking our butts, but we got enough time to catch up. You know, last week for me was a great week. I had 16 applications process and issue. 6 of them were new write-ups for last week, so that was exciting. But they were big premiums. I had some pretty big premiums last week. And then 10 of them were post-dated from the month prior. So, 16 apps paid out for 1 week was just nice to see, for sure. And, today I'm getting started to get on the phones here in the next few minutes. I'm working on my second cup of coffee and just really focused on shooting for 10 transfers today, 10 live transfers. Especially because I got all my follow-up handled. So today's one of those days where I can take as many transfers as I want. And I usually try to shoot for 5 full presentations every single day. But today, I'm pushing that extra mile to shoot from anywhere from 5 to 8 full transfers. Because if you can really make a Monday be productive, it changes the landscape of your week. I mean, Mondays are just excellent to gain some ground. But what I wanted to talk about this morning before I start my day is, for many years I was a door knocking agent and I had a lot of success, and I hired agents door knocking. And I remember that, one of my knockout questions for the agents, as I interviewed them to get them on the phone was, 1, in order for you to be a 6-figure earner, how do you feel about putting no less than 50,000 miles in your vehicle every year? How do you feel about that? That was my first knockout question. My second one was, how do you feel about whether you're being financed or you're paying for your leads, taking 20 to 30 every single week in order to make it happen? Do you have the money to pay for the leads? Do you understand how financing works? We're going to take the leads out of your paycheck every week. How do you feel about that? 20 to 30, ranging in cost from $30 to $50. That was my second one. And my third knockout question for my field guys was, and how do you feel to know that in order to see the people necessary to make 6 figures a year, door to door, you're going to have to knock on the neighbor's house and across the street. 1, you're going to have to run these leads personally with door hangers, but you're going to have to possibly work evenings as well as the weekends. How do you feel about that? A lot of people didn't like it when I would put it to them in that manner. They would shy from the opportunity. Why? Because there was a lot of hard work involved. Today, I'm not in the door knocking business, except if you're transitioning from the field to the phones. But I have a few knockout questions for agents that want to do virtual. First one is, how do you feel about working behind your screen with a headset a minimum of 8 hours, Monday through Friday, and putting in there 40 plus hours of screen time? Now, this is behind the screen. How do you feel? That's my first knockout question. Second, how do you feel to know you're going to start off with the low contract and low renewals your first 90 days as you get trained on exactly how to sell all over the phone and using video technology? How do you feel? A lot of agents don't like that one. But it's funny to me because what they're looking for is high contracts, free leads, and training. And I'm sure there's organizations that do that, but we're not going to do it for free. And it's a good knockout question for us. And third, how do you feel about following up with your clients? Because over the phone, there's a lot of activity, not just of taking live inbound calls, but also making relentless follow-up. Sometimes people don't pick up on the first time. Sometimes you can take a transfer and 10 minutes into it, you have no choice but to set up a callback to finish that presentation. And a lot of agents hate follow-up. They can't muster it. And they don't take the opportunity. So regardless, if you're selling insurance in the field or virtually over the phone, the bottom line to be successful is that you got to be a hard worker and you got to be coachable. Because I'll tell you what, last week I had an amazing week, 16 applications. I wrote 6 new apps. My goal this week is really focused on producing personally and shooting for 10 to 20. This is my goal. But accountability and just putting it down every single day is going to help you, no matter what, reach the success you want selling final expense. Accountability and being a hard worker. If you're not taking accountability of your daily activity, how many miles you're putting in your car, how many doors you're hitting, how many phone calls you're making, how many presentations you're doing. If you're not conscious of that, you're shooting from the hip and you're not going to have long-term success. I just celebrated 15 years of being in this business. And thanks to my God, it's not been easy. Made a bunch of terrible decisions. But the one variable I've always had is that my final expense business has always been there to help me through those maybe bad decisions I made in my life. That's a fact. But it always took hard work and being coachable. So, once again, if we've worked in the past together and you're considering the phones and you want to know what it takes to make it, I'm going to tell you the same thing I've been telling my agents all these years, and that is hard work and being coachable. If you have those qualities, then yes, you can learn how to sell over the phone, but you got to have those 2 qualities that I look for. You know, today and nowadays, I'm not in the field anymore. If you're looking for that opportunity, I would recommend you go and talk to my friends at Golden Memorial. They have the best leads in the market, and they got a great company by the name of Lincoln Heritage that's #1 in final expense sales. But if you're looking for an opportunity over the phone, give me a call. I personally do this every single day, and I'd be more than happy to share with you what I do because I personally get on the phones. And I'm going to take you on that journey personally and getting you on the phones. And if you can duplicate exactly what I do, I'm going to give you free leads, free live transfers, Monday to Friday. The advantage of doing it over the phone and virtually is that you don't have to work weekends. You don't have to work evenings because all of that follow-up you're doing, all of that traffic and activity, you're saving because you're no longer driving. And between a 40-hour work schedule through Monday to Friday, you're able to reach all the people necessary to write 10 to 20 applications a week. If you write 1 a day, that puts you over 100,000. If you write 2 a day, which is average in our book, that puts you over 200,000. And if you write 3 a day, that puts you over 300,000 on a 70% first-year contract with renewals. After 90 days, if you perform, you do exactly what you say you're going to do, then we can sit down, renegotiate your schedule, no problem. Because we show you what we earn from the carrier, and we can go from there. So with that said, guys, you guys have a blessed day. Let's really make it a productive week. And also on the 15th of this week, next Monday, we're going to be having another raffle, another weekend getaway to Vegas. And if you're a current subscriber, we put you in the raffle. If you recommend me people, we'll add your name on an extra ticket to give you a better odds of winning. So you guys have a blessed week and see you guys at the top. Peace.